Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, which is the final one, we're going to be talking about AI. What AI thinks about the situation as far as multi-level marketing. We asked AI whether it will join this type of agencies, multi-level marketing, or and it answered in the most amazing way. It seems like it was almost like a human respond, which is kind of scary in itself and also amazing how AI can actually answer in a way that it just seems like it's a human behind it and saying it how it is and how the structure is and what actually people would say most of the time when it comes to this kind of companies, which is multi-level marketing companies. But before we start, make sure you guys are following us, subscribe to our channel, like, share, and comment if we miss something. Again, I'll always say, just let us know, DM us, or make a comment, and we'll try to correct it if we are wrong and in the numbers that we share. Now, before I go into AI, and we simply asked this information to AI, and a lot of the numbers we pulled through AI and deep dive, kind of to get all the numbers that we can possibly. And because a lot of companies are private, their numbers are not shared, their information is not very much available as you want it to be. Certain ones, obviously, I was part of it, so therefore I can actually talk about it a little bit more in depth. But most of the numbers that we got are from the internet, so we could be wrong in some instances, but we're not going to be off by a huge amount. And if you guys, for example, I said, you know what, if AI is wrong or if anything else, send us the information, send us a spreadsheet, send us an official thing, shows what percentage make what and what, so and how many of them make money, how many of them don't make, with all those percentage like we shared in the other videos about PHP that they shared because they were selling the company. The information was available. And if you have those numbers, let us know, send it to us, and we'll share it and we update it, right? Now, when we asked AI, as far as what he thinks, right? Because, would you join this type of companies? And I'm going to read exactly what AI said, so that way I'm not creating anything. It's just word by word as far as what AI spit out and what AI told us about and what it made a decision on. So it's going to talk about why I might join, why I might choose MLM, and then, why I might choose independent agency. And then we're going to have the verdict as far as what it thinks. And also I'm going to give my opinion on that as well. Now, let's start from the point where we asked AI what actually it thinks about MLM. Or if, the simple answer is, would you join? And this is exactly what it gave us. So it said, if I, which is the AI, says, were to build a career in insurance, my choice will depend on whether I want to be a recruiter or a product expert. Here's the difference between those two. A product expert is on the independent side, and also recruiting is on the left side, which is multi-level marketing. So it says that if it was to build a recruiting or wanting to be a recruiter, then it will join the multi-level marketing. And if you wanted to be an expert in products and services and things like that, then it's not the path to go. It says why I might choose an MLM, PHP, WFG, or Prime America type companies. It says I will join one of these, and my primary goal was leadership and team building, right? Of course, WFG is all about, or multi-level marketing is all about, or Prime America or PHP is all about building leadership, building. It's not about building your business as much, but it's building recruits, because recruits, as I talked to you guys about in a few videos, nets a lot of money for this organizations. Now, the pros of this says provide a business in a box. You get a culture, right? It says high energy training events, a lot of events. In my experience, when I was in WFG, oh my God, in a month we might have had 2-3 events. Some of them are paid, some of them were free, but a lot of them were paid. supposedly for the materials that they give you or hand you, especially when it came to the year event, which is usually in Las Vegas. It's like a biggest one with 20,000, 10,000 people in Las Vegas. And of course, you had to pay, plus the hotels, plus everything else. So a lot of the people, that average person in a year probably spent about $3,000 just on events and just on merchandise and just on services at this point. And they added subscriptions, which we didn't have at that point. And this is not even including your E&Os and all that stuff that you must have in order to operate in the business, which they charge you again on that one as well, which that one I agree on, because that one is an insurance, so you have to buy it anyways. It has nothing to do with them. It's about the E&O that you need to have in order to to actually sell those products, because a lot of carriers will not allow you to do it without the errors and emissions. Now, and it says, and it's a pre-made system for recruiting, right? So high energy events, and then culture, right? It's all about culture. It's about high energy training. They create this fake persona of culture. It's nothing to do with culture. It's all about money, because if they're not making money with you, you're gone. You're not part of that culture. Okay. If you are a great if you're great at motivating people and want to focus on the hustle rather than the technical nuance, look at what it says. It says hustle rather than the technical nuance, right? And of insurance, which is the products and the services and knowledge of that services. So if you're not looking to be an expert in the products and services or the nuances of insurance, then it's not for you. Independent is not for you. This is something for you, because you rather focus on the hustle of the daily routine of building, and also just recruiting people without care if they're going to produce or not. Recruit is just to recruit. Their purpose is recruiting. We used to say, go as you recruit, or recruit as you go, right? And a lot of times people used to recruit people that were just barely live. It didn't matter, because it was in their book of business. It required for them to get promoted, and they recruited almost anything and everyone, as long as they're just in the business and they pay that $125 to get in. It says the con. What's the con of multi-level marketing? It says, II says, I will have to accept lower starting commissions, which is often 25% to 35%. I will likely have to harass my friends and family for my first sale and recruits. My God, this cannot be as human. This is as close to human as possible with the answer it has done, because when we were at WFG, the first thing that we did ourselves was our family members, our parents, our sisters, our brothers, our cousins, and so on and so forth. We just bombarded them with so much. And then a lot of times people will actually cut their families off, because they said, oh, you know what, they're not buying from me. I don't need you because you didn't support me. And a lot of times, even some uplines, and I don't say that this to every situation in multi-level marketing, but a lot of uplines used to tell people, hey, you know what, they're not your real family. They're not this, they're not that. Or if somebody talks negatively about the multi-level marketing or WFG, they used to literally cast these people out of their families. It's mind-boggling what they used to do. And I just don't believe, I'm sometimes stunned as how I was part of that. And of course, the same thing happened as far as what it says, social and culture and high energy and stuff that captures you. And, you meet people, of course, and you meet these good people, and you get stuck there because, you have this dynamic, because once you leave there, honestly, a lot of people that left that business, they get casted out almost. Like I can't explain it to you, because if you leave, it's like the worst thing you can do ever into their life. You can't do anything else. But if you left the business, if you left WFG and you left your upline, it's like probably worst of the worst in life that they can actually cast you out on. And that's when you leave and they cast you out. They don't talk to you. They don't care about you. And if they do, it's all about bringing you back. Hey, why don't you come back? Oh, you're so great. Come back, come back, come back. So begging you to come back, especially if you're good at what you do. And it says often commissions, low commission, 25 to 30%. And they thrive on, that's why I said on the other previous videos, they thrive on people that have no idea what's out there. When they talk about 25%, they think, oh my God, you know what? If it's $1,000, I'm making $250. Yes, this is amazing because these people make $250 a week, or they make $500 a week, or $1,000 a week. And when you talk about 25%, they can make 1,000 if they sold 5 policies. That's a huge number for them because they said, hey, this is only you're going to spend 2 hours or 1 hour with this person. But they forget to tell you that you have to actually work on getting those clients. And that's, again, time spent. So that's one of the craziest things. And harassing is one of the craziest answer that I was just, when I saw this, I was laughing out loud. And I was like, this can't be true. This is amazing how it pulled where it says you have to harass your family, friends, and so on and so forth. So it says, why I might choose an independent agency, right? And it says, I will choose an independent path if the goal is to maximize my profit and maximize my profit per sales, basically, and provide best value to the clients. Do you see what it says? Best value to the clients. It does nothing to say about recruiting and all this stuff. The other part, it's all about you. It's all about your building, right? It's never about the client because there is no client in that system. The client is you, and the product is you, and the product is your family. Other than your family, most of these people never expanded beyond their family, beyond their warm market. That's how they come in. That's how they filter out. That's how they go. And then again, the cycle starts over and over. And then sometimes they recruit somebody that's good. They end up going away, and then somebody else stays. And then that's how they capture your market as well. Now, and it says, the pros for it says high commissions. Brand new agents can start around 70% to 100% commissions, nearly double, triple of MLM. It will also have total ownership of my clients. And if it says, if I were to leave the agency, I will take my book of business with me. That's another one of the biggest things also as well, being an independent. Let's say, for example, our agents that start with us with an independent agent, and they're building their business as well. They're building their book of business. If they left our organization, all they have to do is to just walk away. And if they walked away, and if they're gone, and if they're gone, their commissions are still paid to them, regardless if they're with us or not. They can transfer their clients anytime they want to. They can take their book of business anytime they want to. We don't have any restrictions. We don't have any guidelines. But in WFG or PHP or Prime America, you will not be able to transfer your book of business. You have to cancel those clients and take it out of the book of business. For example, if you're Prime America, let's say you join an organization that has the same concept, has better products, better choices, better companies that you can place life insurance policies that are less expensive, and the people can get more coverages. So, but for you to be able to transfer those clients, you have to cancel the other policies, rewrite the new policies. But when you're independent and outside of this kind of groups, all you have to do is transfer your name, and that's it, and just transfer the agency. Why this happens is because when you work for WFG, I say work because they pay you. When you are with us, you don't work with us. You don't work for us. You work with us, because you know what? Whatever we do, we take our share, and the other share is paid directly to you. With these companies, it's paid by WFG, and it's paid by Prime America. It's paid by PHP. And if it's different, please let me know on the PHP side. But I know Prime America pays you, and also the WFG pays you out of WFG. So what happens in that case when you leave, or you don't renew your membership? Guess what? Your membership expires, or you don't pay for it. Your contract is done, and your policies automatically goes to your upline, and that's the end of the story. So it has the opportunity to do that. Well, the Connie says it's much lonelier because you're alone. You don't have those hype crazy thing. You don't have that social structure. You'll be responsible for your own actions, your own leads, your learning techniques, or technical side of products, and without having an upline. But the difference between that, if you're with an independent agency just like ours, we give you all the technicalities. We teach you everything. We give you everything that you need for you to be successful. Okay. Here's the verdict, because I don't want to go on too much on this. The verdict was, it says, choose WFG, PHP, or Primerica if you want a social environment and you dream of massive organization or of people. It says choose an independent side if you want to be a specialist, earn more money per sales, and have more flexibility in products you offer without the pressure of recruiting your neighbors. Again, look at this. Neighbors, you're harassing your neighbors, you're harassing your family, you're harassing your friends, you're harassing everybody and anybody to make a recruit. Because again, like the last video I made, recruit is the bread and butter of these companies. Their focus is recruiting. They do not care whether you sell or not, because on each recruit they make an average of $300 the first year, average of $180 the next following years for the rest of that person's career in their business. It's like Netflix. It's like a gym membership. It's just they pay and they pay, and without any particular reason for them to pay, because they don't get nothing out of it. Now it says the AI, the last thing it says most top producer in the industry eventually move from MLM to independent agency once they realize they can make significantly more money with fewer sales. So if you're a producer, this is what I suggest a lot of people. If you're a producer, if you can produce amazing amount of money, premiums or clientele, this multi-level marketing is not for you. The reason why it's not for you is because you are a high performer. High performers, you don't get to see high performance, let's say, for example, from other banking systems going to MLM marketing. Why? Because they're already making $300,000, $400,000, or $200,000, and then they're going to go back and work for 25%, and they know what the market gives if they can have their clients. Because again, WFG doesn't give you clients. You can do the same structure as an individual and as an independent agent. Yes, it might be a little bit harder, but when we focus on clients, when we bring in partners, we bring in agents, we don't look for them just to breathe. And like these companies, as long as you're breathing, you can be recruited. With us, you have to be able to produce. If you're not here, if you're here and you don't produce for 3 months, 2 months, you're out. Because we don't want to focus on people that can't be producing. Because we're not charging you to be a member. We're not charging you a subscription to stay with us. If we were, hey, if you're breathing, come on in, sign up here, pay this dues. We don't care whether you sell, whether you don't sell, whether you make money, whether you don't. We don't care about it, because we're making money regardless. But since we're not doing that, since we want to, our income is direct correlation of you doing something, you working. So if we cannot produce another person just like us producing and making money, then our company is losing money, because we're putting our time and effort. Like Steve Jobs says, I'd rather train everybody and I'd rather give them everything that I know to this person and have them leave the company than work with idiots that stay with me forever. That's the same concepts. I'd rather teach people to be my competitor than have idiots work for us, and somebody that has no knowledge, somebody that hasn't any experience in the market, and then comes in one day and then goes out and starts preaching to everybody, hey, let me make you financial free. This is what these companies do. They go out, and if I'm wrong, correct me, because I know what they used to say and what they still say. And when I sit down with clients that they have serviced, I know what they say, because I ask the questions to find out what happened, right? Why they did it this way, why they went to this product, why they didn't do this, why they didn't go this way, and so on and so forth, because they don't know. They're not informed. They're not well educated. They're not well trained in the products and services. It's like getting an advice from a doctor that has no doctor's degree. They just learned to do operation on TikTok, right? Or you go to, it's like, it's impossible. The same thing, you have to treat your financial planner or your insurance professional, because you want to make sure that this person is well versed in insurance, rather than just 2 months ago he was doing, haircuts, and then all of a sudden he's advising you on insurance. Well, wait a minute, or they talk about, these people used to go to people's homes. They used to do budgeting. Let me get your budget. Let me get this. Let me get this. Let me do this. We are a financial planner, which unfortunately there's no law that doesn't allow them to use it. They can use it as long as they're not using the advisor, financial advisor, because that legally you can't use it unless you're licensed. But they say financial planner because it's not restricted, and they mislead people all the time. And you have these people that in 2 months in the business, they're talking about financial planning, your future, your assets, your liabilities, your family's future, your family's legacy, and they minimize it and they cut corners on it. And you, at the end of the day, you end up losing. So again, if you as an employee or as a person that's looking to get a career change, if you want to be in a part of an organization, if you're a recruiter, it's a perfect business for you, just like AI said. But if you want to make money to create your business and also help people truly advance with your knowledge and truly get the educational side, independent side is the way to go. Because when you're independent, you have to depend on your skills rather than on the bullshit motivational stuff that comes with multi-level marketing. And of course, different other aspects of it. If you have any questions, if you like to, if you want to give us a call, talk to us, and kind of if you're from multi-level marketing, you want to talk to us, give us a call, contact us, DM us, and if you want to share information with us, if you have left this type of companies and you want to share some information or share your experience, please let us know. We also have a podcast that we can also put you on there as well, and let's talk about it. Let's educate the people what they're getting into, because they're taking advantage because they have no clue what the market can do for them outside of those companies and outside of those recruiting machines. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video.